Welcome, everybody. This is Joey Galvez, and you guys are watching Explain Yourself. And today I've got a really great guest on the show. We're going to talk to my pal, Milton Lawson. Milton, thanks for coming on the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, man. I appreciate you jumping on and talking with me midweek or early week, talking a little bit about your new book that just dropped today on Kickstarter called Orson Welles, Warrior of the Worlds. Tell everybody a little bit about the book really quick before we get into everything else, please.
Sure. Orson Welles' Warrior of the Worlds imagines the scenario where the legendary Orson Welles radio broadcast, War of the Worlds, where he convinced the world that aliens had invaded on Earth by doing a drama in the form of a sort of radio report, and fooled a lot of people across the nation and terrified them. The comic book sort of inverts that premise and wonders, well, wait a minute, what if it wasn't a drama? What if it wasn't fake? What if there really was an alien invasion and Orson Welles was on the radio narrating events live? And what happens next is he helps join a secret agency protecting Earth from aliens, and he shoots movies during the day, shoots aliens at night.
I love this premise here of like when we were talking a little bit about this, you told me this idea long ago when we first and it's because this has been in the making for a great time now. And when I heard about this, I was like, oh, this is such a great idea. This is so fun. And we've been pushing it out on social media, and people have been very receptive the same way too. So tell a little bit about how you got this concept. And obviously it was like it's literally right there. It was I mean, I don't want to say it was easy to grab.
It was there for someone to excavate. It was there. I just happened to ramble into there first, and basically the idea, I can't give you a precise moment, the aha moment when the idea really happened, but the genesis of the idea goes all the way back many years ago. I was a young film fan, and I was expanding my appreciation of film beyond just the new releases, and I was going back and watching older things. And there's a wonderful theater in Houston where I live called the River Oaks Theater, and they show revival screenings. And there was an anniversary screening of Citizen Kane. And I walked into the theater one person. I walked out of the theater a completely different person. The movie changed my life. It changed the way I looked at film. It changed the way I thought about art and creativity. And it immediately turned me into like an Orson Welles detective. And I started researching his life.
Hey there.
Sorry.
We got somebody joining?
No.
Okay.
I was trying to share a screen and I shared the wrong screen.
Okay.
I want to share your Kickstarter here to show everybody a little bit about while we're talking here a little bit about it. Sorry.
Yeah. So and I've always been a big science fiction fan, both from movies and literature. So I those were two main passions of my life for a very long time. And at some point I was trying to come up with new comic book ideas. And at some point, like Reese's peanut butter cups, the chocolate and the peanut butter just came together, and waha. And I thought it was a very niche sort of idea. I thought I loved it because, I'm into these things. And I'm in a sort of writers group with a few writers that I really respect. And one of them is the comic book writer, Dave Chisholm.
Yeah.
And with 3 words, he gave me permission to do the project. I gave him the basic premise, and his only response was, "Tell me more."
Yes, I love
and
that.
that gave me permission, and that launched me into doing the whole thing. So thank you again, Dave. It's kind of a vote of confidence. And, a lot of times those of us that analyze these things, we immediately come out guns a-blazing with
Mhm.
critiques and analysis. But he was just like, tell me more.
I love this artwork. Let's talk a little bit about the artwork. Who's doing your interiors?
So the art on the cover and the interior is Eric Whalen. He's an artist based out of Michigan. And I met him at Heroes Con, I think, oh gosh, maybe 2018,
Oh,
2017, because he had drawn a wonderful book called Spirit Drifters by another writer friend that I admire a lot, Rick Quinn. And it was just a phenomenal piece of work. And I asked him to do one chapter of the book, and he committed. And then somehow I convinced him into doing the whole book.
mhm.
Um, I think he probably regrets that choice, but the work we got from him for this is just beyond phenomenal.
And I'm looking at here. I'm looking at some black and white pages, and it looks like you shift from black and white to colored pages. Is that correct?
Yeah, we do that a lot. The basic sort of style of the graphic novel is there's one long epic story that follows Orson Welles' entire career from the moment of the War of the Worlds broadcast to the moment of his death. And like his career as a filmmaker and actor, he did some stuff in color and some stuff in black and white.
Mhm.
And each chapter in the book is sort of influenced or inspired or a direct homage to something from Welles's filmmaking or stage past. And so that's why we kind of do the shift between black and white and color.
Very cool. And this is how many pages are you guys doing?
240. It's a whopper.
That's a big one. That's a
Yes.
big one. So that what is that like? Turn into like 3 or 4 issues,
Well,
or how many?
it was originally going to be 12 issues,
Okay.
and then we scaled it down to what was going to be 7 issues. There are 7 chapters. Some of them are significantly bigger than the others.
Mhm.
Uh, so that would have been the format if we had done issues, but it's basically just going to come out as a whole graphic novel.
Very cool. Very cool. So what can people get through your campaign today?
So we're offering 3 different reward tiers. The first reward tier is the paperback edition of the book, just pretty straightforward. Here it is, 240 pages, black and white, color, Orson Welles fighting aliens, and I can say that a very limited number of people have had the full book in their hands thus far, but I'm very encouraged because among those people, uh, a lot of them are extremely enthusiastic. So if you just get that, I think you'll be happy. Then the next level up, we're offering the softcover edition of the book plus a digital script file, which is the entire script for the graphic novel, and the script runs 334 pages.
Oh wow.
Um, as you can see from that statistic, my script writing style is a bit more on the Alan Moore side of the ledger than other people, which may or may not be a good thing. Uh, but this will be your opportunity to kind of go further in depth. And if you're a process junkie, you can
Yeah,
really see how it goes from the original script to the finished product.
I love that.
Um, and then the last tier is the physical soft cover plus the script book and a metal print. You can see there's a picture of old Orson there in kind of a thumbnail. That cover was an alternate cover done by Dave Chisholm. So the standard cover of the book and the alternate cover, those will be the 2 pieces of artwork that we do for the metal print. I'm going to mix it up. I'll try to let people choose which one they want, but we haven't fully finalized out how all that's going to work. So stay tuned there.
And tell everybody who Dave Chisholm is and where they could have seen his work.
So Dave Chisholm is a comics and music master. He's got
Yes.
multiple PhDs in music, in jazz. He teaches music at a very prestigious school in the Northeast. But in comics, he's sort of like the the master of the musical biography format.
Oh yeah.
He's done
Yeah.
graphic novels about Charlie Parker. He's done graphic novels about the Blue Note jazz label. He's done one about Miles Davis. And he's also done original pieces. Right now, he's got a book through Mad Cave written by Rick Quinn that is just extraordinary. I think it's going to be on a lot of people's top 10 lists at the end of the year. It's
Well,
called Spectrum.
okay. Yeah.
Um, and it's sort of, I would say, Invisibles, Matrix, uh, sort of mystery, where music is the sort of heart and core of the sort of fantasy.
I love that. Like, and which it makes me feel, there's a reason why he really fell in love with this work, right? Because it kind of falls into place with what he's been doing, that these graphic novels and stuff like that. So I really love how this kind of mixes in with his world a little bit, and then he does these really gorgeous looking covers for you. Yeah, great stuff, inside out and in between. Like this Kickstarter is fantastic. So okay, talk to us a little bit about the life of this book. I know it's been, we talked a little bit about it. We don't have to talk about anything that's unnecessary, but we could talk a little bit about the life, the conception, the way, the time that it's gotten us here, and finally people can get it into their hands now. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So it has been quite an epic journey. And the project really began, I believe, in 2018. So we're talking pre pandemic era. And the first version of the concept was it was going to be kind of like a jam piece. And I had befriended a number of different indie comic artists, and I was going to get a different artist to do each chapter. And, you know, I tried to pick and choose the artists based on their strengths and for the given chapter.
Mm.
And I went forward with that version with a very ambitious Kickstarter goal for someone who had never fulfilled a single Kickstarter project. I was going to maybe just do issue one, but I was convinced by some friends that were enthusiastic about the project. They were like, "No, man, go for the full graphic novel, do the whole thing, the whole 12 issues, do it all at once." And we didn't meet that goal. We didn't even meet 50% of that goal. So it was definitely a humbling experience.
Mhm.
Um, but in the wake of that failure, some new opportunities presented themselves, and we got some attention from a small publisher and started redeveloping it, and we shifted it away from the multi-artist thing and just got Eric to do it so it would have a
Yeah.
consistent voice, a consistent look, and started working on it. And then right around when the pandemic hit, um, we hit a kind of hurdle in the project that I can't really go into too much detail on, but it basically put the project on hold for about 18 months, almost 2 years.
Mm.
And then we started up again and started, finishing the scripts, finishing the art, and we were ready to launch. We were ready to get the full graphic novel about a year ago, around May of last year. And then we ran into another hurdle. That was very frustrating. And the book has basically been finished for more than a year,
Mm.
and we've just been super frustrated, unable to get it out there. And finally, all the stars have aligned. We've got the book completely finished. Um, I sent the files to the printer overseas this week. In a few days, I should be receiving my first physical preview copy, to like test out the printing and all of that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. And then about 6 weeks, give or take, after that is when the full palette of books is going to arrive. So
Wow.
I'm very much looking forward to that day. It's been quite a journey.
That's yeah, it's been quite a journey. And but I'm so excited that it's here because this is gorgeous. Tell us again for those who have just joined us a little bit about the book. Give them the quick log line of the book again, and then as we show some of these pages one more time, and then we'll get more into the in depth here a little bit more in a second here about the book.
Sure, sure. So the basic premise of the book is it's called Orson Welles' Warrior of the Worlds. It imagines what if the legendary War of the Worlds radio broadcast that that basically presented an alien invasion that freaked out a lot of people in the radio audience in 1938, um, but was just a radio drama by the Orson Welles Mercury Theater Group. Um, we sort of flip that premise and go along with the idea that, well, what if it wasn't a drama? What if it was actually real? And if it was actually real, what happens is Orson Welles joins a secret agency protecting Earth from aliens. And he shoots movies by day, shoots aliens at night. And our story spans his entire career from 1938, when he does the War of the Worlds radio broadcast, up until the moment of his death.
Yeah, and this is awesome. I love how you put this premise on here. He shoots movies by day, he shoots aliens by night. Um, what a perfect premise here. It was right there in the almost in the title. Orson Welles, Warrior of the Worlds. Um, Listen, I am a sucker for a good War of the Worlds like movie, TV show. Like I've watched almost everything that's out there that has to do with the War of the Worlds. So
Yes.
anything that comes at me with this stuff, I'm gonna consume it, man. So are you like that too? Have you consumed everything War of the Worlds?
Not everything, but I definitely have gone through a lot of them, and I wish I could find it. I need to look back. There's a very good screenwriting guru who has said that it's a fantastic story that has never really fully succeeded in
Mm.
an adaptation. I disagree with that, but I posted on a social media forum that I'm no longer on. I quoted his thing about the adaptation never being successful, and I sort of hubristically said, "Challenge accepted." So hopefully
Yeah.
I will prove this guy wrong that at least
Uh,
once out
Listen,
there.
this one right here, like this we're looking at some panels here. Tell us a little bit about the panels we're looking at.
So the panels we're looking at here, there is a there are a number of antagonists in our story,
Mm.
and this gentleman right here is named Dexlar, and he's a commander of a very tyrannical alien species. And this is a moment of one of the battles where Wells and his merry band of warriors try to confront him, and he's a very powerful bad guy.
Okay, are we gonna see him throughout the whole entire show here, or the whole entire book?
I will consider that a spoiler, but what I will
Okay,
say
all right.
is everything in the various chapters build upon each other. And if you fall in love with certain aspects of the earlier parts of the story and don't see it in the middle parts of the story,
Okay.
I feel a little confident that by the time you get to the end of the story, I think you'll be very satisfied with how all the puzzle pieces fit together.
Okay. Okay.
So
Fair. Fair.
yeah.
Fair. I'll take that. I'll take that. We got some comments here. Rafael Flores Jr. says, this comic popped up on my feed, super intriguing as a big fan of Orson Welles. And then he asks a question. He says, what is the most interesting thing that you have learned about Orson Welles while creating this comic book? That's a great, great question.
That is a great question. And um, it's actually going to stump me because a lot of what I'll try to give a better answer a little bit later. I need to think about it. But a
Yeah.
lot of what came into this book was me unloading a lifetime's worth of study into Wells. And
Okay.
there are so many fascinating things about Wells.
What
Uh,
is what is your most favorite fascinating thing about Orson Welles that maybe some of us wouldn't know?
well, I'll give you several actually.
Okay.
Like first of all, um, I think he's potentially the greatest artist of the 20th century, and I
Mhm.
will present the argument as such. He arguably did the greatest thing ever with the radio medium,
Yeah.
the radio drama, a format that disappeared with the advent of television, but is coming back with the rise of podcasts and
Mhm.
uh, audio devices.
Yeah.
So let's grant potentially the greatest radio drama ever.
Oh,
But
yeah. Yeah,
potentially,
totally.
potentially the greatest stage production in American theater history.
Mhm.
His stage production of Julius Caesar
Mm.
in the late 30s, as Hitler was coming to power in Germany, he staged a version of Julius Caesar where all of the Romans were dressed in Nazi regalia,
Oh, man.
and everyone that saw the production um, were just mesmerized and deeply affected by that performance. And many people consider it the greatest stage performance in American theatrical
Mhm.
history. And then
Wow.
his first film out of the box, Citizen Kane,
Mhm.
um, for many years, um, the Sight and Sound magazine does an extensive poll of critics and directors, and Citizen Kane ranked as the number one film of all time for many, many years. The
Yeah.
last couple of polls, it's been replaced by some others. I disagree with those polls, but I don't think there's any artists who have such success in multiple media.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's definitely difficult nowadays, right? And then when you see people who do it, you're like, okay, yeah, they deserved it. And I think like just if we're just speaking about radio broadcasting and just by itself, right? You and I, are we've became friends because of podcasting, because of broadcasting, right? So he's just been a major genius influence on the radio broadcasts alone, with everybody doing these radio dramas, and now with these podcasts where people actually go and actually I've so many different people have done really fun things like do reenactment with the comic books and things of that nature, and other people doing like when Marvel and DC were doing those radio dramas through the podcast, and it was just an extra story, and these actors were creating this different kind of world where you hear it but you create this within your own brain, right?
Yeah.
And which is amazing, because that's what he did with the War of the Worlds broadcast, where he made everybody just believe these big huge extravagant things were happening outside their window, and it's such an amazing thing. We got another comment here from Raphael Flores Jr. He said it's Kane was the holy grail of films in film school. Very,
Indeed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Very cool, very cool. Let's go ahead and let's play. We're gonna play the trailer for you guys because I really love this trailer here. Um, and yes, we did. This is really Orson Welles, but everybody, I'm just letting you know. Here we go. Let's play this here for everybody to see this. For Fantastic. I love that. So, listen, Orson Welles, what if he led a separate life? What if he lived a double life? What if the World of Worlds broadcast was real? And what if Orson Welles shot movies by day and shot aliens by night? Give a little bit of the log line one more time, a quick log line of what this is, and then we're going to take a small break. We're going to show some commercials here, and then we're going to also introduce to you guys a brand new book that is dropping today from our friend Omar Morales. We're going to talk a little bit about that here right before the right before the break. So
Real quick, Orson Welles, Warrior of the Worlds. Orson Welles, legendary broadcaster, filmmaker. What if his original radio broadcast, War of the Worlds, was not a radio drama, but what if it was real? And if it was real, what happens is he joins a secret agency protecting Earth from aliens, fighting, shooting aliens at night and shooting movies during the day. And the story goes throughout the entire career of Orson Welles, and we respect all of the real events that happen in his life, and we fictionalize it with a sort of alternate history take with a lot of other things that happened in the background.
I love that. I love it. All right, guys, we're gonna take a small break here, and when we come back, we're also gonna introduce one of our new one of our friends, a new book that's dropping today on Comixology. So please, and then also bear with me because I usually don't. I'm not the one pushing these buttons. So, but please bear with us. Here we go. We're gonna play our first one, which is from us here. Check this one out.
Your comics take a lot of time and effort to create. Way too much to have them get damaged while shipping to your backers. Gemini Comic Supply mailers keep your comics safe in transit, and with the code Geek Collective 10, you can get those mailers with 10% off your order. That's Geek Collective 10. Enter it at checkout to get 10% off.
Click that mouse and warp into All Ages of Geek's website, your ultimate portal to everything geek culture. Here you'll find articles that speak your language, from the latest anime buzz to the coolest tech trends. Our mission? To celebrate geekdom in all its glory. Whether you're a gamer, a comic enthusiast, a 90s kid, or an anime aficionado, we've got something for you. Dive deep into them with All Ages of Geek.
All right, we're back. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're here talking to our friend Milton Lawson about his book here, but I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about something that's coming up here, and then thank you guys for our sponsors there. If you guys are a comic book creator, or if you guys want some really cool comic book mailers and things of that nature, all kinds of really cool stuff that you can ship out all of your comics to your backers safely, head on over to Gemini Comic Supply and use Geek Collective 10 at checkout and get yourself 10% off. And then head on over to our friends allagesofgeek.com and find yourself some really cool stuff. There's all kinds of geeky content there that you guys can consume. But we have a special I have a special announcement here. We're going to talk to you guys a little bit about our friend's book here coming. It's launching. It's live now on Comixology. It launched today. But I'm just going to let him tell you guys about this. It's going to be a video that plays. We Geek Collective was able to help him with this trailer, and we helped him create this trailer, and then we're also helping him promote some of the stuff this week as well. So please check this out.
Hey there, I'm Omar, the creator of Major Tomas. A cool trailer video is going to play soon, but first I wanted to tell you about this comic personally. This is the passion project of my life, made entirely with Latino and Latina artists from all around the world, and we are all so proud of it. Thanks to everyone who has supported my work over the years, and if you're new, welcome aboard. I hope you love this sci-fi action-adventure story about a Chicano boy that defies all odds and grows up to become Earth's first hyperspace traveler, and then he gets lost in space. Ready? Let's blast off.
All right, everybody, you can head on over to Comixology or at your Amazon account, and you guys can grab that one today. Head on over there, type in Major Tomas, and you guys can get that one. I actually have 2 codes that I'm going to be giving away. We have a forum. If you guys are following us on our social media accounts, it's all over that. If you want to go check it out right now, just head on over to linktree.com/Geek Collective and sign up on our sign up form. We're going to be giving away 2 free digital download codes for you guys if you guys want to read that. It's the first issue that dropped today, and then we're also going to be giving away a book from our pal Milton Lawson. We're going to be helping him out with that. I bought me one today, and then we're also going to buy one for you guys to give away for free. So if you guys sign up for that form, we're gonna put everybody in a raffle for all 3 of those prizes, and then we're gonna email somebody, and we're gonna run that raffle very soon. We're gonna let you guys know who won. So please make sure you guys are doing that, because we want to make sure that these books get into your hands, because these are some beautiful works of art. Milton, thanks for hanging out, man, and coming right back and talking to us a little bit about your work, more about your work. So talk to us a little bit about more. We talked about the story. We talked about all that good and fun stuff that's in the Kickstarter campaign. So now I'm going to give you the hard questions, man. So
Okay.
let's talk about marketing. Let's talk about why Orson Welles, what you had to do. Was it crazy? Because I know you had to work a little bit with the Wells estate here, because we wanted to do it the correct way and incorporate the all that amazing stuff that he's done in his legacy and all that stuff. So please let us know how all that stuff went down, man.
Well, we originally wanted to do it not the right way, and proceeded with doing it without the permission, which in retrospect was a dumb approach. I've always, as like a film fan, every time I've heard something about an estate being involved in some sort of project, they're usually the bad guy in the story. It's usually like heirs to someone like multiple generations ago. that, they themselves didn't necessarily have anything to do with anything, and they really don't care about the legacy. They're just trying to get some money. And so I had a low opinion of every estate just based on that. And I could not have been more wrong. The Welles estate was extremely supportive and helpful on the project, and they're still involved at this stage. I wish I had, done it the right way, quote unquote, the first time around,
Yeah.
So let me be a lesson to you guys. Like, don't be afraid to reach out in these sort of cases.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic to be able to work with them like that on this kind of basis, right? And yeah, sometimes things can get a little rocky and stuff, but once the work gets out there and everybody starts to love it, like that stuff starts to fade away. Yes, it stinks when you're hitting the mug of it, but I mean this is how it works, right? We got to get this. We got to make sure that everybody's legacy is intact, and especially when you're working with like something like this is highly fantastical and very but it also follows his legacy of like storytelling and all these different things, right? But tell me why. I know you talked a little bit about this before the break. Why Orson Welles? I know you're a big huge fan, and you've followed his stuff for quite some time now, but why did you want to do this project?
Well, I think Orson Welles represents a very interesting creative figure in the history of movies and other forms of art. And every project that exists out there, there's a certain amount of collision between art and commerce. And sometimes if the ledger gets too far in one direction or over the other, you may end up with a sort of either super self-indulgent, obscure project that nobody wants, or some piece of junk pandering, nakedly commercial thing. And a lot of things that succeed are the ones that really hit on that fine line. But in that dynamic, there are, especially in filmmaking, the number of people that are involved in a major film production is just extraordinary. And it's maybe becoming less true now, but certainly at the time he was involved, a lot of the decision makers and power players really had no artistic background, no understanding of the medium, no understanding of creativity. And so he found himself, constantly struggling for the art. And if you could actually pause on that image right there, this quote basically sums up a really good answer to the why Orson. This is a quote from the screenwriter Ryan Christopher Murphy, and I'll just read it. He says, "In an age where creativity itself seems to be locked in an existential war, Orson Welles' Warrior of the Worlds has reintroduced us to a hero who was fighting the good fight long before the rest of us even heard the trumpets." And kind of what that's referring to is, when Orson Welles made his first film, he had a completely unprecedented contract. He was given a final cut. He was basically given a dump truck of money, and the studio said, just do what you want to do. And well, what did he do? Well, he made the freaking greatest movie of all time is what he did. And so I think he proved that if you let the artists, pursue their muses, a lot of times you'll get a better product than what you get with, a focus grouped, screenplay by committee type of production. And that perspective ultimately was part of what kind of destroyed his career. He took on a very big target in his first film, very powerful figure, newspaper mogul William Randolph Hearst. And Hearst had tried to have Citizen Kane destroyed. He didn't destroy the film, but he effectively buried it. It did not get the release it deserved. And it kind of languished for almost, 10 years, where it really didn't get the appreciation that it deserved. But although Hearst lost that specific component of the battle, he kind of won the war because his campaign against Wells eventually culminated with him never getting that sort of ability ever again. He was kind of blacklisted by the Hollywood system. His second film was destroyed by the studio. Many years later, Charlton Heston championed him to let him be in charge of a major studio picture one last time. But the rest of his career, it was just he self-financed stuff. He was indie, DIY before it was cool,
Yeah.
And so I think all of his struggles resonate with the state of the world even today. And I don't want to make this book sound like it's a sermon on art and aesthetics and commerce, because all of that stuff is kind of just the grounding for what is, an epic sci-fi space, extravaganza, So it's very hopefully entertaining with lots of wild stuff, lots of interesting side characters. So,
I love that you said, I love that you talked a little bit about this, because you said that when it gives some insight into when a studio lets the artist just take the helm and just do whatever they want, just back up that truck of money. um and the Wells estate trusted you to just be artistic with this and to bring this fantastical story to life. And reading we had somebody that posted on one of the social media accounts the other day, and they said that they got to read the first issue and it blew them away. And I think when people get to read Orson Welles, Warrior of the Worlds, it's gonna be, you guys are gonna be blown away. You guys are gonna be uh, uh, excited about this new kind of take that you know um I love the artwork. I love the interiors with this. Tell a little bit about the interior artist and who you're working on with this book again, for those who just jumped on.
So the interior artist is Eric Whalen. He's based out of Michigan, and one thing that we have in common, in addition to comics, is we're both big sports fans, and so we sort of connected on that the first time that we met. And one of the things that's amazing about Eric's art is, I mean, you can see in some of these examples that his figure drawing and his mastery of just the basics of the craft are extraordinary. But on top of that, he's an amazing storyteller.
Yeah.
And there are about 10 or 12 splash pages or double splash pages in the story that are very ambitious. I think one of them is towards the top of the campaign page. There's that one right there. That's actually a double page spread right there.
This right here is one of my favorite images that you've ever shown me. So tell people that are listening right now what they are seeing, what we are seeing.
So what we're seeing right there is the aliens in this particular moment. They have a sort of mental telepathic psionic power, and Orson meets them head on in this ability. And what we are witnessing there is a sort of clash of the minds,
Oh,
and
Love it.
what is occurring in that clash is told in those sort of like flowing blue streams of narrative. And this is just one example of several just ridiculously ambitious double page spreads where when I wrote them in the script, I just went, all out and trusted that he could rise to the challenge. And there are some that are pretty ridiculous, and he pulls them off every single time. I think there's one page in there. Eric is very humble about his work. Um, but there's one page in there that he's particularly proud of. He's like, yeah, that one was pretty good. And for him to say that one was pretty good is like, that was badass,
yeah, it's gotta be badass.
Yeah.
I love that because yeah, this is the everything about it, the colors, every single piece, like it's almost like you see a broken mirror here, and every image within those broken pieces is telepathically mighty against this alien that is facing off against Orson Welles. I love this image. It's just freaking cool.
I love it too.
Yeah, very cool.
And
Very
there's
cool.
there's another one that I can't share, but I will just tease one aspect of it. One of the most ridiculous ones in the whole thing tells a story point that's a very convoluted sort of science fiction concept. And there's one element of the concept that lends itself to a certain geometric shape.
Mhm.
So in the script, I basically said, do this, make a double page spread. And oh, by the way, don't use rectangles, use this particular shape. And
Okay.
and he didn't like complain or nothing. He embraced it. And
That's
it
fun.
it's a freaking phenomenal double page spread.
That's fantastic. I love that. Talking about artwork and fantastic stories. I don't know if you are able to stick around a little bit longer while we talk about some other campaigns that we are supporting and helping out with some stuff. Are you able to hang out with us?
Oh, surely, absolutely. Unless you're doing that Rich Davis book, in which case I'm out. I'm kidding. I love Rich Davis. I love Rich Davis.
I love Rich Davis too. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of these books here next in our comic book roundup. All right, everybody, this is the part of the show where we talk a little bit about some of these books that we are supporting and wanting you guys to check out. These are our own little projects we love, right? So right now, we want you guys to check out Richard Davis's Angel Hunter. This one is an epic dark fantasy from the nightmares of Rich Davis and Les Gardner, who is also the team behind Prometheus in Chains. This one, and then he's got a bunch of other stuff too, amazing things like Cult of Dracula, Reign of Dracula, all kinds of Dracula stuff. But this one in particular follows after the expulsion from Eden, humanity must carve out an existence in a world ruled by the 13 fallen angels and the army of kaiju Nephilim. So it's going to be this kind of fight between heaven and hell. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because look at this here. This piece is very reminiscent. This piece that keeps flipping here, but the middle panel here, the facial features look very similar to what Eric did to one of the antagonists in your story, which is I love that it's like this no-nosed, almost like the same kind of thing they did with Marvel in one of those movies as well, where there's no nose and it's this alien. I freaking love it, dude. But gorgeous covers here. This one is going to be going live very soon, about I think in April. But this one's again using this kind of black and white tone to kind of give you guys this dark kind of feeling. Very cool. So you're gonna see some really cool freaking metal looking artwork here. One of the angels has one of the fallen angels has these light powers, and you could just imagine how that would look. Is how here's one piece here that we're looking at here with the light kind of coming out of her and engulfing the entire page. Very cool stuff. Definitely check that one out. Head on over to geekcollective.net/angel hunter, and you guys will be able to follow that campaign. They have 88 followers. We're trying to get to 100, so make sure you guys try to follow them and get them to 100. And last but not least, this one is our project. This is a project that I'm doing. This is my first creator project with my name as a creator on this. I created this story. I pitched it to my buddy Alan Dunford, who is one of the creative minds behind Grandma Chainsaw, horror genre stuff like Horrors in Hell and Pocus Hocus, which is like horror drama comedy. If you guys are into body horror or like Smile, or there's a movie called The Substance, you're definitely going to really love this book here called I Need Your Skin. So this one follows Nora Perkins, who has a fear of aging, and she thinks a clairvoyant can help her, but a deal will be made for a small piece of her flesh. Literally, you're gonna see in the first 6 pages here where she meets the clairvoyant, and the clairvoyant literally asks her for her skin. But Nora is I think 1950s housewife living in a community where everybody is perfect and everything has to be perfect, right? And so she's kind of obsessed with beauty and staying beautiful, and what kind of lengths would you go to keep your beauty, right? Very love the story, love how we came up with this story and all the different things that we do. But here's some gorgeous looking covers. We got cover A from our friend Brian Belando, very creepy, and then we got another one from Ruben Mocho, and then we have one where we're going to be working on a couple other covers very soon, and we're going to make sure that we are announcing that to you guys soon. But check it out. You guys can, if you guys are following the campaign, you could go to there now and scroll down and read the first 6 pages with letters, and you guys will not miss out. We're going to put some these pages will not be available here later on once we get some other pages finished, because what we're doing is we're working on all these pages to make sure that they are perfect for you guys, and ready for you guys to go straight to print as soon as this is funded. So we are working to make sure that these, because we've been working on this for quite some time now, and now we are back at it and making sure that these are all set ready to go. So once these pages are done, we're going to show some of these really cool action pages on the Kickstarter. So you will not be able to read the first 6 pages very soon. So if you guys are wanting to read them now, get on it now, because this might be the last time that you see the first 6 pages in order here on the Kickstarter page. We may do something fun later on in a physical form, just to kind of get you guys teased out there a little bit with this stuff. But please head on over there right now. All you got to do is head on over to geekcollective.net/ I Need Your Skin, and you can read the first 6 pages right now, and follow us. We are at 54 followers. We want to get to 100, so please check it out. You guys, this is going to be very fun. This is for fans of supernatural horror, psychological horror, body monster horror, The Substance, or The Smile. So make sure you guys are checking that one out. Again, please, one more time before we head out of the show, Milton, let us know about Orson Welles, and tell us who your friend is. You have a friend on your
We
lap.
have a cameo appearance by Butch, the half dachshund, half chihuahua.
Hi, Boot. How you doing?
And Butch is
Butch?
a little over a year old, and he's very good at jumping, and he's very good at rabbit murdering.
Oh, fun.
And his brother here is Bo.
Oh my gosh. Hi,
He's a
hi.
little more shy,
Oh,
a little
man.
more chill.
We are animal lovers at the Geek Collective. We freaking love animals.
Yeah. So one last time, we can go through the premise here.
Yeah.
Orson Welles, Warrior of the Worlds, imagines what if the infamous radio broadcast in 1938 of War of the Worlds that Orson Welles used to shock the United States listening audience into believing Martians and aliens had invaded in New Jersey and freaked out the country. What if it wasn't a drama? What if it was actual real events? Well, what happens after finding out that these were actual real events is we discover that Orson Welles lived a secret double life, and he joined a secret agency protecting Earth from aliens, and he shoots movies during the day, shoots aliens at night.
I love that. I love it. I love it.
240 pages in color and black and white, art by Eric Whalen. Please share or donate, and you can go to the Kickstarter at orsonwellescomic.com.
This is a fantastic story. You guys are gonna love this. This is if you guys are into a brand new take on Orson Welles and what he's done. If he lived a double life as a warrior of the world, fighting in the great galactic war against aliens, this is definitely something up your alley if you guys are into some really fun sci-fi stuff here. I'm a huge geek for anything War of the Worlds. So as soon as you told me this, that you were doing this book, I was in from the beginning, man. So please, if you guys are really interested in this book, head on over to orsonwellescomic.com and check this one out and pledge today and see. It's very affordable. You guys are gonna walk out with a 200, almost 300 page book under freaking $40, dude. Like under $50. Like, how are you going to do that? There's no way anywhere you're going to do that with an almost 300 page graphic novel with some gorgeous interiors for under $50 ever, like at all. Like, I can't believe that. It's a steal. So definitely check it out. And check out, and then make sure you guys are following Benjamin W. Morse and his stuff. I think he's got a pre-launch or a campaign going for his stuff that is Scarlet Twilight. Please check that out, and then make sure you guys are following Angel Hunter and I Need Your Skin. That's it for me. Please make sure you guys are following Milton. Milton, where can they find you on social media?
I'm on Blue Sky at citizenmilton.com. I'm on Instagram at Citizen Milton. I'm on Facebook, The Milton Lawson, and I'm on Threads at Citizen Milton. So
fantastic. Thanks so much, man. It's been a blast. I appreciate you coming on and giving us some time talking about your book. I'm excited. I'm excited. You're welcome. And thank you guys for hanging out. You guys can find me at Joey Galvez 1984, or head on over to linktree.com/geek collective. That's where we'll have all of our links there. You can find the form to sign up for the giveaways to get yourself a copy of Orson Welles' Warrior of the Worlds. And then you guys can also I have two digital copies of Major Tomas. So make sure you guys are doing that. You can also check out all of our really fun stuff there. And then make sure you guys are saying hi to the fun doggies. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.